wanted to be in that atmosphere, or you wanted something that he could offer you. That lifestyle. That Jello money. Jello money. Pudding powers. This is not correct. This is talking about women who do this, behave. Because my point in bringing it out, because women do that, and this is what it's talking about. Man raises against his neighbor. 27. He found her in the field, and the betrothed damsel cried, and the betrothed cried, and there was none to save her. If a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed, and lay hold on her, and lie with her, and they be found, so y'all done found, they done heard y'all in the field, or wherever, in the house, or wherever, then the man that lay with, but she's a virgin, she ain't promising nobody, then the man that lay with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver. So there's always a payment here, because you're taking something. You're taking virginity. And she shall be his wife. Once you drive it off the light, it's yours. Because he hath humbled her, he may not put her away all his days. So ain't no booty calls in Zion. Ain't no, she looking good, I'm just going to go over there. And no, you stuck. That's you right there. It's yours. Ain't no test driving it. No, this is you. This is you. Because this is Horton right now. You know, a lot of booty. They even got a movie called Booty Call. You know, Satan just put it out there. You know, a one night stand and all this stuff. Something to do. No, once you know, you might can hide it, but once it's found out, you know, the people know. You gotta call it a shotgun wedding. You know, the hillbillies call it a shotgun wedding. You know, you lay my wife, my daughter, you gotta marry her. He may not put her away all his days. Amen. So this goes to choices, because this woman might be a bad wife. You stuck with her because she looked good or whatever, or you couldn't control your lust, and now you got stuck with her now. Or the vice versa, you might be a bad husband. You know. Verse 30: a man shall not take his father's wife. Not necessarily talk about that, but now we're gonna go to. But that's just the virtue of a virgin. Let's talk about that. It's important. Now we're gonna talk about sexual acts sealing the marriage consummation. Deuteronomy 21:10-14. The next page over. 21:10-14. Okay. When thou goest forth to war against thine enemies, and Yah thy Abba hath delivered them into thine hands, and thou hast taken them captive, and seest among the captains a beautiful woman. So this is spoils of war type of stuff, you know. In the time of war, this is just showing, you know, the main part about this is just talking about the consummation of sex, but this is also talking about, you know, when Zion went to war and they saw women of certain nations, not all nations, they could take the women and, you know, as wives. And sees among the captains a beautiful woman, and has a desire unto her, that thou wouldest have her to thy wife, then thou shalt bring her home to thine house, and she shall shave her head and pare her nails, and that means 12 and 1 trim. So there was no long nails. And she shall put the remnant of her captivity from off her, and shall remain in thine house, and bewail, I think it's crying, mourn her father and her mother a full month. So there's even rules about, you know, giving, you know, even though some people are like, man, this is messed up, this is cold, at least Zion had protocol. You just can't be like, I'm gonna go lay with her, you know. At least Zion, Yah was like, give her time to adjust, you know. And after that, thou shalt go in unto her, and be her husband, and she shall be thine wife. 14. And it shall be, if thou have no delight in her, then thou shalt let her go whither she will, but thou shalt not sell her at all for money. Thou shalt not make merchandise of her, because thou hast humbled her. And you know, that's very tricky. I don't know if that's what you're talking about. I know Zion, women in Zion, they can't absolutely do that. But I don't know about the Gentile women, when Zion men were dealing with them. I don't know if that falls under the same protocol of putting the wife away. I'm not 100% sure, but because this is a different protocol. It's not like the one for the women of Zion. This is talking about the other nations that they took, but that was the protocol in there. But the main part was when the sexual act was a big part of the consummation. Genesis 24. Genesis 24. Boy, that what happened to Levi too. They was like, y'all can't have our daughters. Go over there. Y'all crazy. Levi, you know Levi. Crazy. 24:64. Chapter 24, verse 64 to 67. 64 to 60. And Rebekah lifted up her eyes. So this is when Rebekah is meeting Isaac. And when she saw Isaac, she lightened off her camel. For she had said unto the servant, what man is this that walketh in the field to meet us? So y'all remember they never met before. The servant of Abraham went to go get Isaac a wife, and this is the first time seeing him. Okay, meet us. And the servant said, it is my master. Therefore she took a veil and covered herself. See, it's another thing. Women, you know, in Zion, you know, were very shamefaced. They wasn't, you know, they were virtuous women. They wasn't just out here flaunting. Righteous women in Zion wasn't out there just flaunting their beauty. She saw that, well, that's her husband, and she put on a veil. You know, she wanted to be very, you know, humble. And she's showing Isaac this. 66. And the servant told Isaac all these things that he had done. And 67, the main point. And Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent, and took Rebekah, and took, meaning he laid with her. They had sex. Sarah's tent, and took Rebekah, and she became his wife. And he loved her, and Isaac was comforted after his mother's death. So, you know, I mean, you know, a lot of these people up in here doing these soul ties. I mean, woo, boy, you man, you 50. You about to say 50? 50 soul ties, 100 soul ties, 2 soul ties. I mean, in this generation, they get it in. They get it in. I read one article where this woman, she was just drunk, and the guy had sex with her, and she said the next morning, she just asked him, did he use a condom? That's all she wanted to know. Did you use a condom? Not that we engage in sexual activity, but did you use a condom? That's my concern.
Right. Because she didn't want to be pregnant.
Well, she got HIV. That's why she got it now. She got it now.
She had it.
No, she
passed it on.
No, when he laid with her, she got it.
Yeah.
But the point was, they wasn't worried about just committing whoredom, just random being sexual and all this stuff. She was just worried about getting an STD.
Yes. But did he have an STD?
Yeah, she got HIV now. No, she didn't have the STD. She later on found out because of that.
Because of that 9-year-old boy.
That's why she was really. Did you wear a condom? You know, I don't want STD. I don't mind being a whore. STD? No.
Yeah, she's got the curse on her.
Yeah, hey man, don't play the whore. Hey. Don't play the whore. That's the curses of Deuteronomy 28. Yeah. Say, I'll put these plagues that's not even written in the book. I'm gonna put them on you.
Written.
So Exodus 22:16. Yeah, but this generation is finito, done. I mean,
finito.
They done. You know, when you get to the point when the only question you ask, you pass down, did you use a condom? That's. I can imagine how many soul ties she got. You know, that's her question, man. Yeah. You know, 22.
Passed out, got rid of them, man.
And the only thing she's concerned about is did you wear a condom? 22:16. 16 to 18. Okay. And so the main point about this is about the consummation of sexual act and consummating marriage. And if a man entice a maid, run some game, do his, do it. This is Exodus 22, verse 16. 22 chapter 22 verse 16. And if a man entice a maid, do his, his how you do it, his game or whatever, that is not betrothed, and lie with her, have sex with her, he shall surely endow her to be his wife. So it was no booty calls, it was no. Once you tried, that's you. Ain't no refunds. No refunds. No refunds. This is you.
You tried it. You better like it.
Yeah, well, if you don't like it, I don't know what to tell you. Or if she don't like it, I don't know what to tell you. You stuck. Okay, verse 17. If her father, but there's another clause in this. If her father utterly refused to give her unto him, so he making up a ruckus. I don't know at what extent that he had to, contest it, but it was a not my baby, not Leroy, no, not Leroy. So he shall pay, but he shall pay money according to the dowry of virgins.
Wow.
Thou shalt not, and this is another thing I'm going to bring up to this too later on, thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. So remember that thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. There ain't no marrying no witch, man. You find out that's your wife a witch, that's your get out of jail free card. She ain't even supposed to be alive.
That's right.
she ain't even supposed to be alive.
Kill the witch, man.
Well, you ain't got to kill. You can't kill him now. You can't because we're not under grace. So but you can, that's a way out right there, Okay, now we're going to talk about women leaving, because, a lot of people have a hard time leaving their fathers and their mothers, because, married people do have problems, and this was talking about that, you're married now, you work out your own matters now. This is Psalms 45:10. Psalms 45:10. 45:10. Psalms 45:10. Hearken, O daughter, and consider, and incline thine ear. Forget also thine own people and thy father's house. So when you get put in this situation, it's time to tell the parents bye, tell your mama bye. If you got problems, it's time for you to pray and be a wife. And I ain't gonna go on all the aspects of a wife, but this is the manual. If you want to know how to be a wife, is in here. We got Abigail. She had a bad husband, but she still did certain things. You can pray. You can remind your husband, hey, if you disrespect me, you hindering your prayers. That's a big one. You can't mistreat your wife. You be like, I'm the head. Shut up. You hindering your prayers. And next time you pray for something, I ain't hearing you disrespecting my daughter. I can't hear you. So yeah. So and this ain't gonna be first. And you're gonna go to Apocrypha, book in Apocrypha. First Exodus 4 and 20. First Exodus 4 and 20. Esdras, First Esdras. Yeah, Esdras 4 and 20 in the Apocrypha. 4 and 20. First Esdras 4 and 20. Alright. A man leaveth his own father that brought him up, and his own country, and cleaveth unto his wife. So it goes both ways. It goes for the woman, hey, you need to leave your parents. And the woman can be like, the wife can be like, hey, it's time for you to stop being, I don't know how you would say it, depending on your parents, quote unquote mama boy. This was First Esdras chapter 4, verse 20. So it goes just for the man. A man. A lot of males are very wimps, quote unquote, when it comes to certain things, especially in marriages. They're not doing what they're supposed to be doing, and every time the wife have an issue, he on the phone with his mama. Mama, she don't make grits like you, and I don't know. You stop it, because you causing strife in your own marriage. Why don't y'all go get some cooking lessons or something? You ain't gotta. You're newly married or whatever. But some people, 10 years, 20 years, and they married. Mama, she still ain't making grits like, oh man, no wonder your marriage is bad. Okay, now we're gonna go to the power of a godly wife. This is gonna be Sirach, Ecclesiastes 26. Not Ecclesiastes. Nah, you ain't got the cuss. You ain't got the cuss. Yeah, not the cuss. It's the same thing. Different name for the same thing. Ecclesiastes, Sirach, the same thing. All right, Ecclesiastes, cuss 26. Yes, it's Sirach, or it's the same thing. Ecclesiastes or Sirach. And it's going to be chapter 26. Going to read 1 to 3, 13 to 16, and 22, 24, and 26. Alright, so this is Sirach 26, 1 to 3. Blessed is the man that hath a virtuous wife, for the number of his days shall be doubled. That's big. Get a wife, get a virtuous wife, and you're going to be blessed. 2, a virtuous woman rejoiceth her husband, and he shall fulfill the years of his life in peace. A good wife is a good portion, which shall be given in the portion of them that fear Yah. Okay? Now we'll go down to 13, 16. The grace of a wife delighted her husband, and her direction will fatten his bones. A silent and loving woman is a gift of Yah. And there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed. A shamefaced and faithful woman is a double grace, and her content mind cannot be valued. And as the sun, when it ariseth in the high heaven, so is the beauty of a good wife in the ordering of her house. Okay, now these are the power of wife. This is why a lot of men aren't taught. Hey man, get married. You can have a good wife. Find a virtuous woman, and everything will be much better for your life than dealing with 20, 30 women. They're crazy. They're crazy. Literally, people who got multiple sexual partners are bipolar. You have multiple spirits in you from multiple people. She might think you Bobby one moment, then she might think you Kenny, then she might think you Jenny, then Timmy. Oh, that was a bad one right there, Timmy. It's a bad thing. It's a bad thing. Jenny, Jenny. It's a bad thing. It's a bad thing. But if you understand the virtue, hey man, I'm gonna look for a virtuous woman. Hey man, you'll be more inclined. Any man with any type of sense, shall I say? But it's gonna be 22, 24, 26. A harlot shall be counted as spittle, but a married woman is a tower against death to her husband. Yeah. Wow. So you get a virtuous woman, man. Yeah. The police might be messing with you. She come outside, be like, hey, what y'all doing to my husband? And she right there, she shook up death. They was coming to kill you. At that moment, she shook up death. Okay, 24. A dishonest woman committed shame, But a honest woman will reverence her husband. 26, last one. A woman that honored her husband. Now, there's a lot of women got a lot of problems with this. I get a lot of women on chart this. But honor. Just like Abigail, she honored what was the boy? Abel. Abigail. It don't matter. Abigail husband. Nabal, the foolish one. She still honored her husband. In verse 26, a woman that honored her husband shall be judged. This is on judge. This is on Judgment Day, and everybody accounts get brought up. A woman that honored her husband shall be judged wise of all. Y'all know it takes a lot to be a humble woman. And right here it say that was a wise move, Rebecca. Wise move, girl. Wise move. He was tripping on this day, and you still was humble. Right. You still honored him. That was wise. And y'all understand, it ain't no need to read that. Was talking about the rest of it. Was talking about the dishonored woman. They going into the pit. Ain't no need to elaborate too much on them. They going to the pit. What to look for? Ecclesiasticus, again, chapter 6. Ecclesiasticus chapter 6. Ain't gonna read that whole one. So I was reading it and reviewing. I was saying, man, what can I take out of this? But it was so good. So I was like, let's read the whole chapter. Okay, and once you listen to it, read the whole chapter. Yeah, it was so good. Instead of a friend, become not an enemy, for thereby thou shalt inherit an ill name, shame and reproach, even so shall a sinner that hath a double tongue. Extol not thyself in the counsel of thine own heart. That's that prideful. You go, girl, or you go, guy. That thy soul be not torn in pieces as a bull straying alone. Thou shalt eat up thy leaves and lose thy fruit, and leave thyself as a dry tree. A wicked soul shall destroy him that hath it, and shall make him to be laughed to scorn of his enemies. Sweet language will multiply friends, and a fair speaking tongue will increase. Keep reading, and it will increase kind greeting. Be in peace with many, nevertheless have but one counselor of 1,000. That's, I know people in marriage, man, they got 27 million counselors. And they still looking. Meaning, like, you got a problem in your relationship. You talking Tom, Dick, Harry, Peter, James, Jonathan. You on Facebook now. Girl. And you got 10,000 friends. Let me tell you what Billy did today. I need some advice. And this is the age to get 10,000 counselors. Ain't no more three-way. It's just your mama, your auntie, and whoever else in that room. You put it on some platform like that, you got counselors. And the scriptures say, sweet lane 6, be in peace with many, nevertheless have but one counselor of 1,000. If thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first. And this is talking about, now I'm reading this mainly because, what to look for in a companion. What a man should be looking for in a wife, and what a woman should be looking for in a husband. If thou wouldest get a friend, because, your wife and the husband, they should be friends. If thou would get us a friend, prove him first, and be not hasty to credit him. Smooth words. Everybody got smooth words for a moment. Got a little bit of game, When the lights come off, people might be getting mad. I just never, you just never, why I marry you? I'm going back to my mama house. Okay. 8. For some man is a friend for his own occasion, and will not abide in the day of thy trouble. And there is a friend who, being turned to enmity and strife, will discover thy reproach. Again, some friend is a companion at the table, and will not continue in the day of thy affliction. But in thy prosperity he will be as thyself. We got it. We eating. We got it. Dinner on me tomorrow. You got it the next day. Y'all good? It's all good. It's all good. Okay. Where was I? Again, a friend and companion. But in the prosperity he will be as thyself, and will be bold over thy servants. Fill up these cups. We got it. Get money. 12. If thou be bought low, he will be against thee, and will hide himself from thy face.
Dang.
You lost your job or you lost your contract. You be like, man, let me call Bill. And if you keep calling Bill,
the phone, it says the voicemail's not sitting up.
This number has been disconnected. Don't call me. You're broke. Yeah. So, all right. Face. He gonna separate. They gonna separate themselves. But these are things that you gotta be. The main point is looking for a companion. So there's some wives that'll do this, and then you lose your job and she gone. She gone. I only married you because you had some money. I'm gone. Get money. 14. A faithful friend is a strong defense, and he that hath found such in one hath found a treasure. So just like the wife is a strong defense, a virtuous woman. Now again, you friends with your wife. So man, not only is she your wife or your husband, vice versa, y'all are friends. You know what I'm saying? You like each other. That's a big thing to like your wife or your husband. If you don't like them, I don't know, man. My tire just broke. Mine got a flat tire. I need you to come pick me up. Oh man, it's 3 in the morning. I'm asleep. Call a cab, Bobby. But your friend, if that's your wife, I'm there. Oh man, it's late, but I'm there. I'm on my way. Don't go nowhere. Okay. 15. Nothing doeth countervail a faithful friend, and his excellency is invaluable. A faithful friend is the medicine of life. Oh man, to have a friend that's your wife and a wife, the medicine of life. And they that fear Yah shall find him. Whoso feareth Yah shall direct his friendship aright. For as he is, so shall his neighbor be also. Hey man, if I got $5, you got $5. We got some food, you got some food. I got $1 million, you got $1 million. Now people start getting real shady when the numbers start going up. I got $1 million.
I got $1 million.
You got $20,000. Like what? Or they be like, I just got $1 million, man. Okay. Here, verse 18. My son, gather instruction from thy youth up, so shalt thou find wisdom till thine old age. Because there's some old foolish people. Oh man, that's the worst. That's a bad thing to see. I ain't call them fool, but an old foolish man. God dang, man, you 30, 40, 50, 60, and you hell stupid. God dang, man, that's bad, man. That's bad right there. Because that's a lot of learning experience you got that you still failing it. That's bad. 19. Come unto her as one that ploweth and soweth. And so this is wisdom. Start getting into wisdom. Come unto her as one that ploweth and soweth, and wait for her goods. You remember we were talking about growing the other day, the garden. Wait for her goods. So plant your seeds. She coming. Just take care of the garden. She coming. Okay. Fruits. For thou shalt not toil in much laboring about her. but thou shalt eat of her fruit right soon. Oh yeah. Now don't get this twisted. She ain't nothing to play with. You gonna find out. She is very unpleasant to the unlearned. That's wisdom. Unpleasant to the unlearned. You are old foolish man. He that is without understanding will not remain with her. Now this is when, she turning on you. She locking the door when she know you coming back. She put on her things, her earplugs, and she went to sleep. Like, this ain't a bad woman. This ain't a metaphorically a bad woman. This is just, wisdom got some standards too. The fool ain't coming in the house. Okay? Coming in the house. She will lie upon him as a mighty stone of trial, and he will cast her from him it belong. 22. For wisdom is according to her name, and she is not manifest unto many. Wisdom, like the Holy Spirit will leave, we ain't got nothing to talk about. I'm gone. You think she stuck up? You ain't got nothing to talk about. You ain't got nothing to talk about.
Glory.
All right. Give ear, my son. Receive my advice. This is still wisdom. And refuse not my counsel. And put thy feet into her fetters. Her fetters. I don't know if it's talking about feathers. This is how it's written. It's probably talking about feathers. Fetters. I don't know. Feathers? Feathers. It's probably feathers. I don't know. But it sounds like,
It's like the foot, feathers.
Okay. Put thy feet into her fetters. Maybe her steps. Yeah, maybe. Something like that.
Well, now you got to look up the word fetters.
I know, man. But I know it's basically saying, walking her steps. And thy neck into her chain. So, willfully embrace wisdom. Take this on. Okay? Bow down thy shoulder and bear her, and be not grieved with her bonds. Because everything, I was telling those preachers or whatever, came to my residence the other week. You're in bondage to something. You in bondage to Yah, or you in bondage to sin. You in bondage. Now Yah bondage might be a little lighter. Well, it is lighter. And then the sin bond, you see people just laden with sin. They just, I'm all right. Hey, you can just see the ball and chain on. I'm all right. I go to the strip club right now. Just ball and chains. Yeah. They just filled with iniquity. But the ones who's bound in Yah and wisdom, you know what you're bound to, and you're not weighed down. All right. Not grieved with her bonds. 26. Come unto her with thy whole heart. Don't be fake with wisdom. And I done seen guys mistreat a good woman. They wasn't real, and she get mad. Not saying women can't get upset. She looking at them sideways now. The house just ain't as warm as it used to be. Because you're not being truthful. And keep her ways with all thy power. Search and seek, and she shall be made known unto thee. And when, see, these are the pros. A lot of people be like, I believe. Alright? I believe I was going to get taken up, and I worked on getting taken up. You believing, bye. Keep over alive. That's all that's going to happen. You ain't, I'm just saying, you're going to have to search her out. Search these things out. Because when I was coming into I always ask Yah, what's the truth? What's the truth? What's the truth? Before I even knew Yah, quote unquote, I was like, what's the truth? Whatever that the creator, you seek it out. Search and seek, and she shall be made known unto thee. And when thou hast got hold of her, let her go not. Me and you together, girl. Ain't no Take hold of her. Because, if somebody give you a bar of gold, I ain't letting it go. I ain't letting it go. I ain't letting it go. Nope. So, 28. For at the last thou shalt find her rest, and thou shalt be turned to thy joy. 29. Then shall her fetters be a strong defense. So when you do everything you need to do, plant what you need to plant, now wisdom is your defense. Now, you know how women, man, a lot of women, they got a mouth on them. Imagine, if they use that in your defense. You ain't going to do him like that in righteousness. Well, with all due respect, I would like to defend him, So, that's a double-edged sword. It can swing against you or for you.
Right.
Okay, Joy. 29. Then she fetters strong defense for thee, and her chains a rope of glory. For there is a golden ornament upon her, and her bands are purple lace. Thou shalt put her on as a robe of honor, and shalt put her about thee as a crown of joy. My son, if thou wilt, thou shalt be taught, and if thou wilt apply thy mind, thou shalt be prudent. See, there's always some actions with this, and this a lot of stuff in these churches. No action. It's just keep hope alive. Keep hope alive. We need y'all need some actions. If thou love to hear, thou shalt receive understanding. See, a lot of people can't tell no foolish person that they don't want to hear nothing. That's why wisdom say we can't. The door get locked. We ain't got nothing to talk about. All right, love to receive understanding. And if thou bow thy ear, thou shalt be wise. So sit and learn. 24. Stand in the multitude of the elders, and cleave unto him that is wise. So sit by wise men. A lot of people, you don't really have that too much. There was a time where you see some gray heads, and you listen to what they talking about. Now you see some gray heads. You probably be talking about something deeper than they talking about. They talking about football, football. Jerry Rice. Oh my goodness, this is nothing, man. Nothing, just nothing, man. All right. Be willing. Be 35. Be willing to hear every godly discourse. Be willing to hear every godly discourse. That's why I was talking to the brother. He didn't believe in Yahusha. I'm listening to him, see what he's saying. I'm learning where he coming from to correct what he's saying. You're learning. You're just not listening to foolishness. 2 + 2 = 7, man. Bye. I got this new math. I got this new mathematics. I learned, we ain't got nothing to talk about, man. Discourse, and let not the parables of understanding escape thee. So yeah, when you're in trouble, them parables come through. I know when, stuff be happening to me, man, parables just start coming up. Left and right, just parables. And if thou seest a man of understanding, get thee betimes unto him, meaning hurry up and get by him, and let thy foot wear the steps of his doors. Let thine mind be upon the ordinance of Yah, and meditate continually in his commandments. He shall establish thine heart, and give thee wisdom at thine own desire. So just talking about, the friends, about wisdom, just like a wife ain't nothing to play with. There's one woman in there, she had somebody come over to her house. I forgot where it was, but it was an enemy of Zion, and she was just there by herself, and the enemy came in, and she offered him drink, and he asked for some water, and she gave him milk, and he was shocked, like, you give me milk, and once he got comfortable, she killed him.
Nailed to his temple.
Through the temple. She took him out just like that, So wisdom, in that feminine aspect, ain't nothing to play with. You know what I'm saying? Just like, hey man, she don't hang around foolish. She don't hang around foolishness. And some guys, I must say, they full of foolishness, and some women, they like, I ain't got no time for your foolishness. Oh, you just a bee. Well, no, she ain't got no time for your foolishness. And you know, and sometimes it is true. She is a shameless woman. So this is going to be Titus. So Titus 2:1-8. So these are things, the characteristics to look for in a mate. You know, I always want to be friends. You know, why don't y'all go, find out some hobbies together or something first before y'all, get intimate. You know, well, before you get married and then you get intimate.
Find out first, once you get married, it's done.
Because if she's a sore loser, you can't go play golf with her, she's a sore loser. I mean, like, so Titus 2. Or if he's a sore loser, some guys got any problem, I know. Titus 2:1-8. 2:1-8 and 12-13. But speak thou the things which become sound doctrine, that the aged man be sober, grave. That means 2:1. Love. That the older man be sober, love, temperate, sound in faith and in charity and patience. So these are attributes that when you look for somebody, I know this comes more so with older age, but these are things that a man should want to be working on, and a woman should be wanting to work on. And especially when you hit about 20, 25, these are things that you should be in the place of mastering if you're in the scriptures. If you grew up in the scriptures, these are places that you should be refined in at that age, 20, 25. The aged woman likewise, that they be in behavior as becoming holiness, not false accusers. And and one thing everybody needs to realize, these are one of the women's evil forces, lying. Women, it's just in the flesh of the nature of a woman to resort to lying. And men are more brute, forceful. When a man reaches his base level, he's all about, do what I say because I say it, being aggressive. And a woman, when she gets to that level, she's gonna lie all day. She's gonna lie all day. These are the two opposites of of that. But the reason why I say this is because this wasn't the false accuser wasn't. They put on the man, the aged man. It was put on the woman because they know women will lie. Not given to much wine, teachers of good things, that they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, and to love their children. So these are attributes that you want to look into a mate. If you read this and the man or the woman, she's like, I ain't trying to do that. Well, you shouldn't be trying to do that. You know what I'm saying? If she ain't trying to, or he not trying to do that. 5, to be discreet, chaste. You ain't chaste. You run the possibility of being slaughtered in Zion. But we're on the grave, so you can't do that. Unfortunately, it's coming back though. Don't worry. Ain't gonna be no. The scriptures say, "Won't be no whores of the daughters of Zion." That's God. That's like. He didn't even have somebody say that for him. I said it. There ain't gonna be no whores of the daughters of Zion. So, y'all make that real clear. Real clear. Okay, to be strict, chaste keepers at home. What you think about, just being a stay-at-home mother? Oh, I ain't trying to do that. I'm in my 20s. I'm trying to travel. Whoa, yes, that's a red flag. You ain't trying to do this. Good, obedient to their own husbands, that the word of Yah be not blasphemed. So a woman, again, if a woman that is obedient to her husband, Yah already said it, you're going to be counted wise. Get her, put some more jewels on her. She was really obedient, Young man, likewise, exhort to be sober-minded. If a woman, if she's courting with a man, and he's not sober-minded, getting drunk, spiritually not sober, these are red flags, like, hey, this might not be the best thing for you, Rebecca. Might not be. In all things showing thyself a pattern of good works, not one or two things. Well, I cook eggs and I vacuum. Okay, so the pattern is a stop. It's the pattern. You need some more. Of good works in doctrine, showing uncorruptness, grevity, and 7 and 2. What does that mean? Reverence. And sincerity. So, and that was 2:8. Sound speech that cannot be condemned. Woo, man, that's a deep one right there. That he that is of contrary part may be ashamed. That's, I done seen it too. I done seen a group of whores and a virtuous woman come through. They just shame. Just come on. Automatic. Shame. If a virtuous woman walk into a strip club in prime hour, this the prime hour. If a virtuous woman just walk into there, shame gonna come on the strippers, just like that, because they know in they souls. And it's deep, because this is what's gonna happen when we're in the presence of Yahusha on Judgment Day. That spirit just, it's just, you can't, if a virtuous man or a virtuous woman can do that to the common brothers and sisters, imagine that, that real spirit coming through. They just gonna, now whatever fell down with you, that's with you. Whatever you fell down with, that's what fell down with you. So you still gonna bow down. Point. Ashamed, having no evil thing to say of you. Okay, and we ain't talking about people jealous of you. You know what I'm saying? So they really ain't got nothing to say about you when push comes to shove. 12 and 13, teaching us that denying ungodliness and worldly lust, we should live soberly, righteously, and godly in the presence of in this present world, looking for that blessed hope and the glorious appearing of the great Yah and our Savior Yahusha, Hamashiach Yahusha. So these are things you want to review with a wife, and I just can't say there are single men in here, quote unquote. So even though everybody up in age, so.
What you trying to say, bro?
Oh, what you know? Now you get 50, you up in age.
I love you too, bro. I love you too.
I'm getting up in age too. Okay. So these are things that y'all brothers might need to look for. Don't be.
I'm looking. I believe that. I'm looking.
Okay. So now we're gonna go to the another side of marriage, mixed marriages, and we're gonna see how y'all feel about nation mixing. To certain things y'all ain't really too inclined for in marriage. This is Isaiah 13, 14 to 16. Isaiah 13, 14 to 16. 14, 16. All right.
What's that chapter again?
This is Isaiah 13, 14 to 16. Okay, and it reads, and it shall be as the chase roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people, and flee every one into his own land. Every one that is found shall be thrust through, and every one that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. Their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled, and their wives ravaged. So, this very particular thing about, being married to particular people nowadays, we're going to get more into the nations a little bit, but this is just showing, in the kingdom, each nation is going back to their own people. Yeah, it ain't going to be, there are certain things that happen in the scriptures, like Moses, Joseph, that they were in particular situations and think certain things were granted. But normally, like we was talking last week about the garden, y'all was like, I planted this particular seed in this particular garden for a particular reason. Why are you taking my seed and planting it over there? I didn't ask you to do that, So, but this is talking about the mixed marriages. Joseph 23. And it's mainly for a particular, what is it, Joseph? Not Joseph, Emmanuel.
Matthew?
Not Matthew,
Who's in Isaiah?
Jose? Not Jose, Joshua. Joshua. 23, 12 to 13. And it's really a particular main 7 nations that Yah was really talking about. Hey, do not marry them. And it's it does happen in the scriptures at times, but Yah main is for Judah. Even in the 12 tribes, it was for Judah to be with Judah, Ephraim to be with Ephraim, Levi to be with Levi. And a lot of people, it's not even mixed marriages really in Zion. That wasn't even really supposed to be. Joshua 23, 12 to 13. 23, 12 to 13. Okay. 12 to 13. 23, 12 to 13. And if ye do anywise go back and cleave unto the remnant of these nations, even these that remain among you.
What chapter are you reading?
This is 23,
Uh-huh.
and this is verse 12 to 13. Else, if ye do anywise go back and cleave unto the remnant of these nations, even these that remain among you, and shall make marriages with them, and go in unto them, and they to you, know for a certainty that Yah, your Yah, will no more drive out any of these nations from before you. And Zion is still in this curse to this day. This is a touchy one for a lot of people. They think that they can just marry anybody in any nation. And my mother's a Gentile, my father's Judah. So if I can say it, everybody else gotta get out their feelings too. Love is love. Whoa. This tree is this tree. This tree is this tree. I know you like each other, but I'm sure you can find somebody on your trees that you can like just as well. Because I don't think there's a shortage of white people. I don't think there's a shortage of black people, a shortage of Mexican people, etc., etc. I'm sure somebody you can find somebody like. But again, this is talking about particular 7 nations. I'll read that in a little bit, but it's still a tone that Yah still wants. You should be able to find a woman or a man in your particular ethnicity, or the father, the seed of your father. 13. Know for a certainty that Yah, your Abba, will no more drive out any of these nations from before you, but they shall be snares and traps unto you. I see that in Zion a lot. And scourges in your sides, because your lust for something Yah told you not to. Now it's a whole lot of. Is this not the Judite woman who got you in court? Somebody else got you in court, and now she's a scourge to your side, and thorns in your eyes, until you perish from off this good land which Yah your Abba hath given you. Okay, now I'm gonna go to Job 4, chapter 4, 12, 13. 4, 12, 13. 4, 12, and 13. 4, 12. 4, 12. Where's it? Tobit. It's Tobit, not Job. It's Tobit. I wrote it. T looks like a T. You ain't got to do it, Brother King. Tobit chapter 4. Tobit chapter 4. Tobit. Tobit chapter 4, verse 12 to 13. Alright. Beware of all whoredom, my son, and chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy fathers. So Tobit just, reinforcing like, hey, take a seed of thy own people. And take not a strange woman to wife, which is not of thy father's tribe, for we are the children of the prophets, Noe, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Remember, my son, that our fathers from the beginning, even that they all married wives of their own kindred, own nation, and were blessed in their children, and their seed shall inherit the land. Now, therefore, my son, love thy brethren, and despise not in thine heart thy brethren, the sons and daughters of thy people, in not taking a wife of them. For in pride is destruction, and much trouble, and in lewdness is decay and great want. For lewdness is the mother of famine. So, Tobit was just, reinforcing like, hey, it's a custom, and, and Yah told us to do it too. Find something in your own space, a lot of people, I've talked to over the years, ran to Moses and Joseph, but those were particular situations, particular cases. They weren't the normal. They were in a certain situation, and hey, I ain't mad at you. Go get you one of those Hamite women, or go get you, however whatever wife Moses had. I forgot what her name was. I understand, but under normal circumstances, you're supposed to marry amongst your own people. Deuteronomy. The next one is Deuteronomy 7, 1 to 5. Because even in the kingdom, even if you have a multi-race marriage, even here, and both of y'all are going to be spared, Zion is going to stay in the kingdom, and the Gentiles are going to stay in their portion. So it's, you can't even be together. I mean, that's why, it's just better to love you. That's why Tobit was like, man, love your own people. And I see a lot of I even see other nations do it to themselves. I ain't marrying no Mexican, or I ain't marrying no white person. I'm like, what? You're Mexican, you're white, you're black. What are you talking about? You got problems. If you're at that level where you can't find nobody in your own nation, you got problems. That you might need to go work out. That's some self-hate right there. You can't.
What chapter?
This is going to be Deuteronomy 7, chapter 7, 1 to 5. 1 to 10. 7, 1 to 10.
Well, I don't think Samson had a problem. He just wanted that woman.
Yeah, that's lust. Remember this shit?
I know.
Oh yeah. Samson was going, and then what it said, it's gonna cause you much problems. It's gonna cause you much problems. And there's a particular, I'm gonna read these. There's a particular 7 people that Zion was never to marry. That was, if you are absolutely not to. And in here, in Deuteronomy 7, 1 to 10. When Yah thy Abba, the Elohim, shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, and hath cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites, the Jebusites, and the Amorites, and the Canaanites, and the Parasites. Well, yeah, parasites probably came from you. You got parasites, Ron. You don't want no parasites, man. I mean, that's probably where parasites probably came from. I'll be reading that, man. You don't want that. They say don't marry no parasites. And the Hivites, and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou. Now I particularly don't know who these nations, the Canaanites, those are Hamites,